Oh yeah.
Good though.
Yeah. Rude awakening. Here we go, we ready. Had to change up some stuff tonight, right? Had a subject matter I wanted to touch bases on, Yakub, the making of the white man. But I don't know, Allah just kept telling me that don't even teach on it. You know, not on this platform. You know, maybe it's too sensitive of a subject matter, you know, to be speaking on in public domain on a Facebook Live channel. But definitely about to start up some more study groups, you know, where like minds could gather and I could teach people in depth about certain things, because everything ain't for everybody.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Just everything is not for everybody. And so what we decided to do, and this is why it's important for people to be plugged into their cosmic energy. Because when you plug into your cosmic energy, the cosmos will speak to you, give you direction, give you guidance. Because if I'm sitting down here speaking about what Mason Neal want to speak about, then I could easily misinform people. No, you have to tie into the ancestors. You have to tie into the cosmos and deliver the message that's most needed at that moment. I may not always know what's best to talk about. The co-host, Matt, he might not always know what's best to be talked about. You know, we just try to keep our actions and our mindset evolving around what's right. And with hopes to be guided into the right direction, because this isn't about me, this isn't about wood grain, this is about us trying to better inform people about information that has been shielded from them, about information that they've been mistaught about. You know, and so when you got something that important, because you mislead one, God gonna judge you like you misled all of humanity.
Yeah.
You know, and our objective is to just try to save one.
Right.
Because it's inversely proportional. You save just one, God rewards you as though you saved all of humanity. You know what I mean? And so, yeah, we omitted that. We're not gonna teach on Yakub tonight and the making of the European. But what I will say is this, you know, I ask all of y'all, tomorrow during your day, if you got 5 European friends, ask 5 Europeans tomorrow, have you ever heard of people being born with coccyx tails? Well, that's something that's foreign to us. We don't know about being born with tails. If you ask 5, 4 of them gonna tell you, yeah, my sister had one, my wife had one, etc. This coccyx tail, they'll try to say it's an extension of the spine, but it's an extension of some time that they spent in the Caucasus Mountains. They want to toy with us about how our ancestors lived. They want to misinform you about how our ancestors lived. But in reality, you see, Caucasus is not a country. They term themselves Caucasian. We don't term them Caucasian. They term themselves that, but that's not a country. Okay. See, I can say I'm Japanese because Japan is a country. I can say I'm Chinese because China is a country. When I say I'm Caucasian, I'm identifying with a mountainous region in Russia called the Caucasus Mountains. And just do a little research on the people that was in the Caucasus Mountains. You know, the savagery that they had began to entertain. You see, the mating with animals, etc. To the point where tails started being passed down genetically. They call it a coccyx tail. You know what I mean? The eating of that rare meat. They want a rare steak and all of this kind of stuff. This is from that period of time. That's still carried on. You know, but I'm not going to teach on the Yakub theory, but it is what it is.
That's my first time hearing about that.
Yeah, and they call it a theory, but once I begin to teach these more study groups coming real soon, we're going to get down into the depth of certain information. You know what I'm saying? For those that if you really want to know.
Yeah, because everything ain't for this camera.
Everything ain't for this camera.
Yeah.
And so what we decided to do tonight is just have an open forum. You know, me and Wood Grain, we ain't got a chance to really dialogue with y'all. We ain't got a chance to really take the pulse of the people, you know, and see what questions y'all may have or what comments y'all may have. So we wanted to dedicate, you know, this segment of the Rude Awakening in an open forum fashion to try to, you know, take in some questions. We got you know, my sister, she gonna read off the questions as they come, so that I can try to, and we can try to give some insight, you know, into certain questions that people may have, because we've been putting forward countless amounts of information, a plethora of facts have been put forward, you know, and when I go back and look at some of the past videos, you know, I have to remind myself of exactly how much information is being put forward. You got to give the people time to digest it. You know, because again, I'm not up here to try to give you an eargasm. You see what I'm saying? I'm not up here for you to fornicate with my teachings. You know, screw what part of it you want, get a good feeling and discard the rest. No, I'm trying to do my part in making my people a more cognizant, conscious, functioning people inside of this society. You know what I mean? Because we've been tore down enough.
And I applaud your efforts for even just doing it, bro.
Oh,
I'm
man.
saying, you know what I'm saying? You got a lot of teachers that need to be heard, you know.
Oh, man, listen, man. You know, my family know how many hours I put in just dedicated work. You know what I'm saying? Not just with the Rude Awakening, but just dedicated work.
I know how you get down.
I feel like I'm racing the clock, and so should they. You see what I'm saying? Because we not here forever.
Right.
You see, you got to leave your fingerprint on this planet.
There you go.
You got to leave. What's going to be said of you when your mouth is closed and that casket about to close on top of it? What's going to be said of you?
Yeah.
You see, this is something that we have to ask ourselves. But a mastermind doesn't screen himself or herself for the sake of reputation or fame. But yet and still, as long as you're going to have family members that's still on this planet after you gone, then your legacy, you see what I'm saying, becomes a part of their positivity or negativity.
Yeah.
You see what I mean? They have to carry on your errors or carry on your positive works. You see what I'm saying? And not take on the work themselves, but they'll receive the ridicule. You see what I'm saying? Or they'll receive the applause of what it was that, you know, so you want to do things that people are proud of. We have to do things.
Is how you passing that baton.
Oh,
you know, to yours. And you got to do it right.
You got to do it right.
You
got to do it right. You know, and you know, I be thinking sometimes about like, you know, that murder rate that's up there in Chicago. And it's a sad situation. You know, and I just be thinking sometimes like, how come them parents up there ain't carrying life insurance on their buck wild sons and daughters that's up there? You know they buck wild, you know they in the streets, you know murder is real up there. It's a reality.
And here's the
They're
sad
living
thing
like they're trying to die, and the parent won't even carry life insurance on them.
Do they have life insurance though?
Do they have?
It make you wonder about that too, you know. So
they don't want to spend that $20 a month. You know what I'm saying? They're looking at that 20 and thinking about the loud man or life insurance.
There you go.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
They're looking at that $20 thinking about the loud man or life insurance. They choose the loud man.
Yeah.
But we have to start functioning in this society in a more beneficial, lucrative way. You see what I mean? Because it's rules to this.
Yeah.
You know, if you want to be established, if you want to make gains in this today's society, then there's certain rules that you have to go by. You know, and carrying life insurance and health insurance, all that, that's a part of it. You know, working on your credit, getting your credit right, where you spending more signatures than money. You see what I'm saying? That's a must. You know what I mean? So we just have to, as a people, start thinking about the other side of the game, but we've been absent from it for so long. You know, we've been afraid of their banking systems because, you know, we used to put all our money in the banks and we'll go there to make a deposit tell you ain't got no money in the bank. This is what they was doing to our people in the early 1900s. And so we shied away from banking and all the things that come with banking, but that's the cornerstone of you establishing yourself, you see what I'm saying, in the right manner. You know, we got to get out of these shacks. You know, mansions is a signature away. Get your credit in order. You know what I'm saying? And so that's just where it's just so much information that we need to talk about. So many things that we can talk about and dialogue about to try to make people better. You know what I'm saying?
And we want them to participate too, and, you know, asking questions and, you know,
definitely.
know, and feedback. You know,
that's what today is for.
You know,
you know what I mean? For people to, you know, put their comment forward, put a question forward. You know what I'm saying? Let us try to get you some answers. You know what I'm saying? Get you some answers. We ain't got nothing yet, babe. Yeah, they. Well, listen. I'm gonna tell you something. Like, when I was in prison, right, all that time, you had a lot of guys in prison that was sitting there counting every day. You see what I'm saying? But what I did, I said, I'm not gonna sit here and count every day. I'm gonna sit here and try to make every day count. You see what I'm saying? And the same rule carry on into life. You cannot sit out here and count every day to your next paycheck, or no, make every day count. You see what I'm saying? Because what we put out into the cosmos, it returns. It's a boomerang effect. You can change your whole situation simply by beginning to put forward more positivity. You know, capitalize on every blessing.
There you go.
Every opportunity to help somebody, you help them.
Got to, man.
You see what I'm saying? Every opportunity you get to tell somebody something beneficial, speak it. Every chance you get to try to do something caring or sharing for some people, man, do it. Capitalize on it. Stack up your blessings. And the cosmos returns it. You see what I'm saying? But we are stingy-hearted and stingy-minded people. And we are misconstrued kindness with weakness. You see what I mean? So we'll think that an act of kindness is an act of weakness, and the only thing, you creating your own psychological hurdle. You see what I'm saying? Towards the blessings. You know, we got to start identifying with things more through our ancestors' culture. You know, this dog-eat-dog world and society that we trapped inside of, this isn't how our ancestors took care of things.
Exactly.
You know, and then let me say this. Because I always hear people say, well, Africans had slaves. Yeah, they did. But the atrocities associated with slavery in the Americas was unique from any form of slavery anywhere else in Africa during slavery, because guess what? Wasn't no John Deere tractors back then. It took a lot of human hands to turn a field of corn, to turn a field of soy, to turn a field of whatever the crop was. But the slaves had rights. You couldn't mistreat them in Africa. They could sue you in their courts. They could rise to the highest ranks in your government or your military, etc. The slaves had rights. They was treated like humans. So the abuses associated with chattel slavery in America is what we talking about. You see what I'm saying? Because people always try to, I don't know what's wrong with our people, where we always seek to defend. You see the eventful past of these people. You see them? No, they wrong as hell. And God said that because of their wrongs, He's going to avenge blood from A to Z. That's from Abel to Zechariah. That's from Abraham to Zebedee. From Alton, Illinois to Zimbabwe. Wherever His people, the righteous, have been wronged by this system and this government, He planning on extracting blood. Pay attention to what you're about to see. You know, this weather is about to get where you know it's a torment. He's about to torture them with the weather. You see, I wanted to teach on the prophecies and old statements, but I may do that next week, depending on whether or not my grand sheik come over here and teach with me. But these people, this government, got a date with destruction. They got a date with disaster. God has allowed all of their wickedness and wrongdoing that they've done to so many to just stackpile up. It's on the way. It's on the way, just because you busy trying to forget how wicked they were. Open your eyes. They busy trying to remind you. This ain't something that was happening back then. This is something that's still happening right now. You know, and you could raise your children to be naive to the wickedness, or you could teach your children to be aware of the wickedness. They have to learn about the true history of the situation. You know?
And you know what's funny is, you know, to me, a lot of us can, you know, practice that behind closed doors, but when we get out there in that so-called field, we hush mouth about it. We don't want to get in trouble about it by, you know, by the workforce or whoever we work for. You know, it's crazy. It's crazy, man.
But they won't hesitate to tell you, I love Trump. I'm a Trump supporter. They won't hesitate to tell you, because that's a single phrase that embodies an entire ideal system. To just say, make America great again. Well, who used that phrase? Who coined that phrase? You see what I mean? They don't even understand. You have to research George Wallace, the racist governor down south that was running for president. The only thing that stopped him was a few bullets that left him paralyzed. He coined the phrase, make America great again. And he was the same one that coined the phrase, segregation now, segregation tomorrow, segregation forever. That mindset. This man is just a present presentation of ancient hatred towards our people. I mean, this is just reality situation. You know, and so we have to start being more mindful and start moving in a manner that says, you know what? I'm not about to put all my chips on them. I'm not about to put all my faith in their system. I'm not about to pattern my whole lifestyle after what they say is right. It's okay for you to be you. You know, be yourself. Jonathan Steen. You see what I'm saying? Be yourself. Ain't nothing wrong with you being yourself. You got to, because these people's lifestyle is the polar opposite of our lifestyle. And so a lot of problems that plague our people is directly correlated to us trying to be them.
Yep.
You know, that's like a child that don't have the thinking capacity of the other children his age. Sitting down in the corner, steady trying to force this square to go into the circle part of a toy.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? That's us. We steady trying to make this situation work. Make it work for us. It's not working for us, and it's not going to work for us.
Exactly.
You know, you got the illusion of inclusion. Your eyes are closed to the reality of the situation. You're not bold enough to speak what you see. You rather acquiesce into silence. You see what I mean? And say how you feel about a situation, like you just made mention of, because of the workforce, or, you know, we all got European friends and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But if I'm an Asiatic, I'm a brother, and our people was responsible for doing to them what they done to us, I'm man enough to say, man, that was wrong.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? But see, white privilege has caused those that's not necessarily racist to still have a finger of silence resting up on their lip, because they benefiting so much from what happened. You see what I mean? You only in the condition you are today, people, as a result of what happened yesterday. So when they was running around buying hundreds of acres of land for pennies on the acre, you see what I'm saying? They had us in a restricted position with now that worthless land, because of the population of mankind on this planet, now it's very valuable. So once they disallowed us from entertaining certain things 80 years ago, 90 years ago, the trickle down effect is what we're dealing with today. Every mom and pop store, black owned company, black owned little small business that end up closing down because of integration, had they survived, they will be Fortune 500 companies today. You see, they will be Fortune 500 companies. They're able to employ their own people. You know, and then you got these bourgeoisie amongst us, the talented 10th. You see what I mean? Like Oprah. Well, let me say something. You see what I'm saying? Because everybody's so busy applauding her. You see what I'm saying? But what's her true direction? What's her true angle? You know? Because you're in a position where you can help your people a lot more than what you're helping your people. Nothing breaks my heart as much as when I see the cops killed this kid or wrongfully did this and did that in a certain city that's got sports teams, professors full of us. You saying entertainers full of us. You see what I'm saying? And they show the family out here struggling. Step up. Step up. But we become so hard-hearted towards each other. We won't even assist. You see what I'm saying? One another when we see a dilemma taking place amongst our own. I remember one time I was reading a newspaper a few years ago, and this one individual, he played on the Baltimore Ravens. And they was questioning because he went and spent like $25,000 on instant tickets, because the Mega Lotto or something in that city was up to like $400 million. And they said, man, why would you spend $25,000 on instant tickets? He said, his answer was, man, that ain't nothing. I would have probably spent that in the club over the next 2 weeks anyway. He would have most likely spent $25,000 in the clubs over the next 2 weeks anyway.
But won't give it back to your people.
Why not give out $5,000 grants? You know what I mean? To some impoverished kids. You see what I mean? That's graduating high school. You see what I'm saying? That may not necessarily be getting a scholarship or anything like that. I mean, there's so many better ways for us to use our money. But we act like children with money. You see what I mean? We got a child's mentality when it comes to finance.
Tax season.
Tax season. You see what I'm saying? Tax season. You know what I mean? So we got a lot of work to do, and trying to be them is not going to help us get that work done.
Exactly.
You know,
we got to do better, man.
And we got to do better. Man.
We got to do better.
And they don't want to see us separate. They love this situation because you got whole people inside of your midst that spends over $1.3 trillion with you annually. Well, stop right there. Because America's gross national product is $850 billion. So her total exchange financial gain is $850 billion a year. That's what she exports to the rest of the world annually. Well, guess what? She got to buy something back from them countries. So not only is she exporting, but it's a give and take. She got to get some, buy some of their goods. But with us, we are spending more with America. Get this. Than all of the rest of the planet combined. We spending $1.3 trillion with her annually with no give and take. The rest of the world collectively is only spending $850 billion.
Yeah.
This is why I say she gives us allowance. The United States gives us allowance because she know we gonna give it all back.
Yeah. And you know what? I seen a video like that, and it was based back in the 1940s, maybe, about Negroes are the most spinningest people, and that's why they make things so flashy for us, because they know we like to spend the money.
Yeah, we know
this to feel important.
They call us liquid money.
You know.
Yeah.
So
we love that flashy, shiny stuff.
You know?
And I got some for that shiny stuff too in closing.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying, when we get to the closing point, because we love that shiny stuff.
Yeah.
You know, but everything that glitter ain't gold.
Exactly.
You know, that's what the old folks will tell you. You know what I mean? So.
They asking any questions?
No, because of it.
Well, I got a question.
Go ahead.
Do you feel like we're getting any better? Because, you know, I feel like blacks are the most forgivingest race. Do you feel like we're getting any better as coming as one and, you know, trying to, you know, work together?
No.
You know.
We'll forgive another race about anything they do to us.
Yeah.
But we'll carry the hatred and animosity and vitriol and indignation towards each other to the grave.
Yeah.
I can never forgive you for what you do to me. But when that European, he shot up 9 practitioners inside of that church in South Carolina, and the family members forgave him for their police ever caught him.
Yeah.
They call it liquid money.
Liquid money is what they call the black dollar. Liquid money. Because it's gonna pour right back out of your hand. You know what I mean? So no, I don't think it's getting better. I believe it's getting worse.
You know, and she can speak up. Whoever asked me questions.
Mimi Kyles wanted to know what I said they called it, and they refer to our money as liquid money.
Liquid money.
That's why you see a lot of the Asians put their businesses right into our communities because.
Oh yeah, check this
for the
out.
most part,
You're exactly right, sis. Now,
okay.
A lot of foreigners, they will leave their homeland and come way over here to establish their business right where the blacks is at.
That's
because the whole world know that we are the most ignorant, I'm just saying unknowing, to not know how to manage money properly. They know that we got all pockets out when it comes to our money. So when they come over here and build their businesses, they centrally locate them right where we are. Because they know that these people, we can get rich off of them. You see, because they don't have anything, they don't produce anything. You see what I mean? Even though I know my Aunt Elma Jean can fry chicken better than a lot of people, I'd rather go to one of these Arabs that's selling chicken. You see what I'm saying? And buy it from them. And they loving every minute of it.
Yeah.
Come on and get it. And the Arabs are the same people that used to kidnap our people and sell them to the Greeks for 800 uninterrupted years. They not your friend. They not your friends. Yeah, go ahead and ask a question.
Is that why you feel that, look at our predominantly black neighborhoods in this little town, look at the stores that are there. Do you feel like in the little convenience marts, little stores, A1 Spot, A-Town Spot, The Circle, Fast Eddie's Chicken, look at the area that they're located in.
Exactly.
You know, even uptown, you know, the predominant urban place. Now, as we go out to Godfrey and stuff like, do you think that that's strategic with them, that where they put those particular businesses?
It's definitely strategic.
Us being the most biggest spend, we're gonna run right to their corners.
We had a couple blacks that had actually owned the one up on Central,
but they
didn't.
They didn't do well.
And we didn't show support.
But then
why come they didn't do well?
And we'll ride right past Stampede. Only time we're gonna stop past Stampede is to get a pack of cigarettes because they so cheap up there. You see what I'm saying? We got to start supporting our own self in kind. We got to come out of this mindset.
Precious Lee says, when it comes to supporting each other, the first thing we say is, I can get the hookup or discount, but we will go spend the full amount with the other races.
Yeah, and that's sad. And you're exactly right. And what we have to understand is a lot of times when we begin to venture off into the business sector of things, we have to pay more because we're only able to buy so much. You only get the deal when you're able to buy in bulk. Yep. And so a lot of our entrepreneurs that's trying to entertain business in certain spheres, they getting taxed more, so they have to charge more. You see what I'm saying, for what they provide. But we got to be willing. Listen, if you got a Maserati, you're not putting 87 in it. You're going to put premium in it. Sometimes you got to pay more to make what it is that you driving or what's driving you work right.
Yeah.
You see what I mean? So sometimes we got to pay more. This is the same thing with genetically modified organic foods. Yeah, they cost a little more, but that's the fuel you put in your body.
Yeah.
So you mean to tell me you'll put the most expensive gas that a gas station got to offer inside of your car, but you'll put the cheapest foods inside of your body?
Yeah.
We got to come out of that mindset. You know, it's ridiculous and it's embarrassing as a people. You see what I'm saying? What's taking place? You know, we are their children. Yeah. We carry like children in the United States. Our whole people. Yeah. Because you got a whole people. See, a child depends on his parent. You see, and us as a people, we have to depend on them for our jobs, for our clothing, for our shelter, for our vehicles, for our power, for our water. We are totally dependent upon them. Not one business collectively owned and operated by us as a people. But see, you go to certain reservations where the so-called natives, who are actually the Mongolian strain of the Canaanite bloodline, another story, but they have enterprises established on the reservation, from casinos to resorts, that's collectively owned by them, and all of them get a check in their mailbox monthly. You see what I'm saying? As a result of what that business takes in. This country refuses to say the word reparations. You see, they do not want to see us on an equal playing field as them financially. They've grown so familiar and used to and dependent upon every dollar that we spend with them. So they don't want to reparate us, even though they know they owe it. If the Germans and the Arabs had to reparate the Jews, if the United States had to reparate the natives, if the United States had to reparate the German Americans who they locked up in camps during World War II, the Japanese Americans they locked up in camps, everybody been paid but us. All them reparation suits have been settled.
And the thing is,
let me say this.
Go ahead.
I want to say this. And it's a lot of ways to do it. They don't have to just give us a lump sum of money. It can be structural. You see what I'm saying? Every Asiatic, so-called black child, once they reach 18, to prevent you from having to just give it all to us at once, each time one of us turn 18, get them $100,000, a passport with plenty tattoos on it, and you be willing as a country to support them if they want to leave this damn country. You see what I'm saying? For up to 5 years. You see what I'm saying? Something like that. With other structural things. No dental fees, no healthcare fees, etc. Things where you take the loss. You see what I'm saying? You gotta correct the wrong. God is angry. God is angry. So they can write it or not. He's gonna write it. You see what I'm saying? And he's gonna crumble them to dust. You think that this government here, how many mighty nations has Allah, God, Jehovah Yahweh allowed to raise in its ranks and then destroy, humble them totally? You see, because they haughty. They haughty, they arrogant, and they feel like they don't owe us anything. The president of their United States of America said, I'm not going to apologize for anything my ancestors did. You know, come on, man. We got to wake up, man. People don't mean us no good, man.
And I think we just have gotten so used to it, that we haven't had a platform like this for somebody to talk about it and say, we don't have to keep selling them for this, man. We ain't got so used to it, but we don't have to keep selling for it.
And then look at this. Y'all got to pay attention to this. They have marginalized the news outlets to the point now where we don't even know what's going on with our brothers in Cincinnati. We don't even know what's going on with our brothers and sisters in Los Angeles. Because wherever we at, because they learned something. That during that Michael Brown and Trayvon Martin, so they noticed that when they aired it, we unified throughout the country. So now if you're not in that city, you're not going to hear about it. You have to read about it scrolling at the bottom of the news. You see what I'm saying? It's controlled information that's taking place right now. You see what I'm saying? So y'all think because y'all ain't heard the latest Trayvon Martin situation, it must have stopped. They still killing us. But now they killing the women too. And they killing the children.
And you know what's crazy? You know the last attack that just happened, with the man, this mass killing that he did.
Went into the mosque. They killed 40 plus people.
They blurred out his face.
Blurred out his face.
But
they're going to show your face, where you live, two of your relatives, the car you drove, where you worked at. You see what I'm saying? With us, they're going to show the whole platform.
And your dead body uncovered laying
and your dead body. You know, I remember when them two Russians put off some crock pot bombs in New York. They took them both alive. Look at this. I remember when the sister, man, I believe her last name was McBride, she wrecked her vehicle into the gate of the White House and then took off. And they chased her down like a hound running a rabbit. She got her 2-year-old daughter in the back, standing up looking at the police chasing them. They circled her and shot her 19 times. 10 bullets was in her head. for wrecking into the gate and driving off. They saying they didn't know she was a terrorist. You know that.
Yeah.
You know better. But later, a month later, one European landed his personal helicopter right on the White House lawn.
Yep.
They took him alive without a scratch on him.
Yep.
Another month after that, another European hopped the White House gate with a knife in his hand, ran all the way into the White House and pushing the elevator button. They took him alive. But his sister had to die. You see, and so we just have to understand, man, that very little has changed. I'm sorry to be the one to tell you. Very little has changed for our people. The income inequality gap has widened since the 60s. It hasn't closed. The unemployment rate has widened since the 60s. It hasn't closed. The incarceration rate has widened since the 60s. It hasn't closed. The divorce rate has widened since the 60s. It hasn't closed. We're doing worse.
Yeah.
We're doing worse today, man.
Can I ask a question?
Go ahead.
So do you think that is a direct result of fooling us to say or make us believe things have gotten better so that we can keep doing the stupid things that we're doing? You know, do you think that's, kind of a smoke and mirror, like it's getting so much better, so you'll just keep on doing what you're doing?
I agree with y'all partially, but it's not, their effort is endless. You see what I'm saying? So they doing what they do. They're not doing anything to deliberately make us feel like things has changed. They threw the trick out there. We bit it hook, line, and sinker. You see what I'm saying? The problem is on us. How can we see so much and think so small? How can we see this thing? Yeah. It's just like we got the Bible. It was a time when we had the land. You see what I'm saying? And they had the Bible. We closed our eyes and opened them, and then we had the Bible and they had our land. You see what I mean? But now we got the Bible, but we don't even identify with what's on its sacred pages. We'll go off of what they say. See, the Bible say no idols. Don't worship idols, and don't make no graven images of God. But we'll sit here and have an idol that we call a religious symbol with a graven image of who we say is God and hang it on our neck. We're doing the exact opposite of what the book said. We believe in him over the book. The Bible say in Jeremiah 10 verses 1 through 5, they're going to be taking trees out the forest, decorating them with silver and gold, fastening them. The Bible say don't worship that. That's the way of the pagans. These customs. But we don't even identify with what's in the Bible. We go like, it's Christmas. I ain't going to deny my kids Christmas. So you're going to mislead them? You're going to play the role of the Judas goat? You're going to lead them up to slaughter? You're going to let them identify with pagan ways and beliefs because you find your mama doing so and she found her mama doing so? Well, once you go to her mama, she was a slave. She did the best with what she had. We celebrated holidays during slavery because we didn't have to work that day. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So we have to teach our children better.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? The sad part about Alton, Illinois, you see what I mean, is that it's so mono-ethnic. You see what I'm saying? It's the Europeans' way. You know, but you take your children to Philadelphia school systems, to Atlanta school systems, they're going to be entertaining more multi-ethnic ideas and cultural things. You see what I'm saying? But here, you get one way. They way.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? And our children begin to assess the entire world. Their whole perception of what's in this world